Good afternoon. How are you? Brothers and sisters, Mrs. and Misters, comrades and friends, I hope I can say. Welcome to all of this, or at least some of it. My name is Alan Cox. Thanks for being here. Say hi to Bill Squire. He's right over there.
Hey, creepy hugs, everyone. Thanks for listening to and watching this episode of the Alan Cox Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share a cold one with the boys. And we'll get these buzzards out of here and the Alan Cox Show logo up in no time.
Oh, boy. You know what? Thank you, pal. I get so... You know what it is?
A lot of things to check.
But also, I was seconds before I cracked my mic here. By the way, Mary's out. Poundcake is back in Studio G.
Afternoon, white people. Hello.
I look over, and a couple members of the Cleveland Mounted Police rode by on their horses, and it looked so... Majestic. Obviously, I know that the mounted police exist, but I'll tell you what, I had never seen them down here, I don't think, and they're just very calmly going on Euclid, I assume to the east side.
I want to see a mounted
right
police.
here at 9th.
I've seen them a few times, usually Friday nights, Saturday nights, you'll see them from time to time, and then parades. So like during, I'm sure on St. Patrick's Day, we'll see them out and about.
Right.
Where do they just keep their horses?
Astride their mighty steeds. Those horses look amazing. Where do they keep their horses? There's probably some kind of
in the garage next
police.
to the cars.
There you go. They tie them up next to the squad cars. Mm-hmm. They probably have a police stable, right? And I wonder if you become close with your horse. I wonder if you are assigned a horse.
I feel like that horse is an officer. It's just like a canine, like it's like a partner.
Well, it's a beast of burden, though, right? I mean, a canine dog can maybe assist in subduing a suspect. It can sniff for things. I think a horse is just there to be ridden. I mean, I don't know.
And you can
Does
ride.
the saddle have guns on the side, like where if
like
the
a
horse...
mounted turret, like turret? What is
turret?
it?
Could you imagine if it had like a cage
Turret.
dragging a cage dragging behind it, and then when you get arrested, you get stuck in that cage and you get pulled by the
That's
horse?
a great idea. I'll tell you what. The horse just drags you around. Yeah, like there's that sound. It came, but it came in handy there.
Yes,
that's the
perfect.
sound of
That's
a
exactly
horse
what it would
dragging a cage on a Cleveland street. There's nothing wrong with that.
Maybe this is how they stop all those guys on the ATVs.
On the what?
On the ATVs, on the four-wheelers driving around the
Right.
city. They put the Mounties on them.
Is there any chance that we could see horses chasing people on ATVs and motorbikes?
If we do, they better have a lasso. I just feel like if you are a police officer that rides a horse, you should have a lasso. It just seems like it fits.
Yeah, somebody get
the
me hip.
bill.
People who know about that, get me hip to what they do, because other than
They slow down.
other than seeing them on horses, and I don't see that often here in Cleveland. There are other places where you see it all the time. And in the hierarchy, I would think of assignments, mounted police is probably still above bike cop. I would imagine you'd probably rather be astride a steed than a Huffy or a Cannondale or whatever they're riding around out there. But I don't know. Somebody who has inside knowledge of CPD workings there, you're going to have to get me caught up with what's going on with the cops on the horses. But again, they were just, they weren't in pursuit of anyone. And if they were doing it very casually. It was the most casual pursuit I'd ever seen in my life. But these horses, they hadn't even broken out into a canter. They were just walking east down Euclid here, two mounted police talking to each other. Whether or not the horses were conversing, I don't know.
I don't think they want the horses to run on. I don't think they can run on this surface because they don't have. They're not built.
Well, they have
for that.
horseshoes.
They have horseshoes, but those are metal, and they're not giving them any grip. They could slide and get injured, I feel like.
Well, then what's the point of being on a horse if you can't eventually break out into a pursuit?
I think it just looks awesome.
Looks cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it could be. It could begin to end there. But anyway, that's kind of what threw me off mere seconds before I cracked the microphone here. Alan, you really should have a trigger warning before you just pop up and greet us on the radio. Listen, I don't tell people how to do their thing.
We kind of do.
We really do. I have a whole intro, it's
There's an intro. You do a little segment with Stansbury sometimes before we come on, so they know he's coming.
There's plenty of information coming your way. That something awful is going to be on this radio station right around 2 o'clock.
Trigger warning, I have tickets for sale for my show this weekend. This Friday in Warren. Just wanted to do that trigger warning first because I know people don't always want to hear my plugs, but there it is.
People are telling
BillSquire.com.
People are telling me you are assigned a horse. It's very important to develop a relationship with your horse. That makes sense. I assumed that was the case, but I don't know. The stables are across from Burke, 38th and Lakeside.
Okay.
So
they don't just keep them in the garage with the cars.
They're used for crowd control. They'll use the horses in an A line to shove people back. Yeah, okay. I mean, again, these are things that I'm relatively familiar with. There are a lot, growing up in Chicago, there are a lot of mounted police. And you say Chicago, but I mean, again, and I'm sure there are plenty in Cleveland. I had just never seen them before, and certainly not right out in front of our window. But I'll tell you what, that when we were promised all of this fanfare that was going to make working in downtown Cleveland such a treat, that was part of it. They didn't mention it insofar as there's going to be horsies outside your window, but that's part of it. We never saw horsies walking outside our 4th floor window in Oak Tree.
Never.
If we had seen that, that would have been intense. So there you go. Can you imagine getting taken to jail on a horse? The horse is for intimidation. And again, there's no crowd out here. I mean, if you don't count the daily throng of people that come up to our window in anticipation of this program. That's what I had initially assumed, Bill. We keep it kind of on the DL, but because we don't want to get anybody worked up. But each day when this show begins, just a throng of people out here peering into this window to see the magic happen. And I thought, for instance, maybe that's what those horses were doing, was anticipating crowd control. But those people that are in front of our window every day, so well behaved.
Mm-hmm.
We've never had problem one that would require the attention of the 5-0, mounted or otherwise.
Other than Little Herb.
Even Little Herb, he walks by now, knocks,
waves,
flash the peace sign. Yeah.
Okay, he's
always
down.
Natalie dressed now.
Yeah.
Maybe he was having a bad day when he called us, but every time he walks back and forth here now,
he's got it together a little bit.
He looks like a proper Cockney gentleman. I got to take a break. You want to text 35192 to do that. You can watch live if you like at alancoxshow.com. And we'll be back after these.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show
On iHeartRadio.